Hi guys, I know it's been such a long time here, but I am back and I am so excited to be back. But please, before I start, let me introduce myself. Let me reintroduce myself. I am Esther Adisa, a lawyer, a journalist, and of course, a social change advocate. I have a food drive initiative where we organize outreach for children, and also we go to the rural areas and we give them food items and the likes. So that is a summary of who I am. And today, the team put together a couple of questions to ask me, and I'm going to be doing justice to those questions. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Okay, so to the first question. Okay, this question says you're a lawyer, journalist, and the founder of an NGO. How did you get to that point, and how do you combine them? How did I get to that point? Okay, so I don't particularly think I sat down to come up with a plan that I'm going to become a lawyer, a journalist, and everything else I am doing. I think it sort of just happened and I embraced them. So let me tell you guys the story of the things that I am now or the things I'm doing now, what led to them. Of course, I studied law, so I don't think I have to speak so much to that. But for journalism, it was so unplanned for because I didn't even know I was as passionate about it until I started. I think it was just when I was in in the university. Yes, when I was in the university, and then I was a guest on a program. But before then, I had been co-anchoring shows or programs on air with my friends. But I didn't really take it seriously because I had other things I was doing. Back then, I was an event planner. I was just into different things. So I would co anchor shows with my friends. But on a particular day, I think someone invited me to be a guest on a show in a radio station. And I went there. And then I think the manager of the studio, the station manager, I think he had the interview. And then he asked me, he was like, "Oh my God, you have such a beautiful voice. Do you want to go into journalism? Has it ever been your thing? Are you passionate about it?" But and then it was like, okay, so if you're interested, just let me know. You could start working here, all of those things. And I was like, okay, it's not entirely a bad idea because growing up, I used to listen to radio and then I would mimic presenters. So I was like, okay, let's give it a try. And then that was how the radio journey started. Of course, I've not been on air for a while now, though, but that was how the journey started up till the point where I obtained a certification in journalism from Michigan State University. And then, okay, for my initiative, I think I've always helping people has always been a part of me. Growing up, it is what I saw my parents, especially my mom, do over the course of the years. So I think I embraced that. It became a part of me, and it's just something that I love to do. So I think that's the answers the question, but I don't think I sat down to say, okay, this is how my life is going to be, and this is what I'm going to be doing at any point. They all sort of came together. And the second aspect of the question says, how do I combine them? Honestly, it can be overwhelming a lot of the time, especially when everything you're doing, they are, time consuming. They require resources. They can be draining physically. But knowing where you want to go to, the person you want to become, I think it helps. So, and also planning, yes. Time management, knowing what to do part time. Okay, these are the things that I need to do at this moment. My costume, maybe you might not have so much time for relationships, friendships, all of those things, but knowing that at the end of the day, it's gonna be worth it. I think that's what helps me. But if you see my face, you'd see how stressed I look. So on the upside, that's one of the disadvantages. But you just honestly, when you love what you do, just find a way to make them work. Okay, the other question says, has law always been the profession for you? I don't know if I don't particularly know the answer to that question because it wasn't that like I said earlier, it wasn't that I planned that, okay, I was going to study law. Everything just sort of came together. And when I was in school, I was in arts class. So it just made sense that, okay, just study law and just go for law because apart from using my voice, because I think if I didn't study law, I would have probably studied journalism in school. But apart from using my voice, I've always wanted to do more. I think law is a tool. If you know how to use it, you can use it to do so much for people, so much to make a difference in the society, to impact people around you. So, I mean, it just sort of happened, and it's making a difference. I right now I use my voice and a lot to educate people and just to try to make a difference around me. Okay, so the next question says, can you walk us briefly through your faith journey? Okay, my faith journey. I think when I introduced myself, I forgot to mention that I'm actually a Christian as well. So my faith journey has been a beautiful one, but I don't think there's anybody that can boldly say they've had a smooth ride or a smooth Christian journey because definitely so many things would come up that might try to test your faith. I mean, Jesus said it that in life you're going to have so many troubles, but do not worry because I have overcome the world. So, but I think what helps is you're definitely going to have ups and downs, and mine has been I've had my moments. I've had really down moments where I questioned my faith, where I felt, okay, is God actually watching me? Is God there? But knowing that God actually has the best plans for you and trusting Him. There's a part in the Bible that says God's plan, the fulfillment of God's plan is dependent on you trusting God. So sometimes you might see that things are not working or they don't make sense, but it's because you don't trust that God has the best plan for you. So I think knowing that God has the best plan for me and trusting Him has helped. So regardless of whatever I'm going through, I just stay focused on the journey. I stay focused on my faith, and I don't let whatever the devil is trying to do to overwhelm me or to keep me down. Really, so it's been beautiful. Really. Okay, so the next question says, have you ever been envious or bitter about people at your level doing better than you? You know why this question is funny? It simply boils down to comparison. Have I compared myself to other people at my level doing better than I am? Yes, I have. But when people talk about comparison, most of the time they tend to focus on the negative side. When I am looking at what someone else is doing, I'm trying to learn from them. Okay, how is this person doing this? And how is it working? Like, what are they doing differently? What is that thing that they're doing that I'm not doing that is making it work for them? So I am always genuinely happy for people. And I know that my journey is so different. So I focus on my journey. So when I'm comparing myself and I'm looking at other people, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to see what I can get from them. I'm trying to track and trace patterns that could guide me or that could be useful to me. Not that I don't think I've been envious or bitter about any other person's success. I don't think so. But the problem is, and why people often get so bitter or so depressed, is because they are not as focused on the process of their own journey. Because it's when you focus on the negative side of comparing yourself to other people, of what comes with comparing yourself to other people, is when you become depressed, you become anxious, you start feeling immense fear of failure and the siblings. But when you know that your process is different and everyone is on a different journey, I think it's really going to help you to make better choices, especially when you're comparing yourself to other people and you get to see how that thing that you're seeing this person do and the person is excelling at it, then you'll be able to learn from them really. So for me, I don't think I've been bitter or envious of any other person's success because I know mine is coming. So I can fail as many times as possible. There is literally no award for the first to be successful. So when I eventually become successful, I know that, I mean, people might not even remember most of the things I went through or, or whatever it is. So I just focus on my journey, really. So I think you should too, or people should too. It helps. What fuels your drive for success? What fuels my drive for success? I think it's about making God proud because every person here on earth has a purpose. So I believe that working towards fulfilling my purpose is going to make God proud. So at the end of the day, I can tell God that I've done what you asked me to do. I think it's such a strong motivation for me. And also trying to make the people around me proud and happy. I mean, I want to be that person that my kids would, I mean, my kids would, grow up and then they're always proud to say that, look, that's my mom. I mean, they're boasting and they're talking to their friends and they're like, oh, see, that's my mom. So I think that's the motivation, honestly, trying to make the people around me happy and proud. And also, I honestly don't like living with regrets. I don't want to be that person that in my old age I'm going to look back and then say, oh, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done that. And that's why you see me try out so many things, because I don't want to have to deal with regrets. What's the worst that could happen? It's not going to work out. And then I try again. So I think those are the things that keep me going. Okay, next question says, are you in a relationship and what is your notion of it? What? I feel like this is the most irrelevant question. One of the most irrelevant questions people always ask people. Cause I mean, pourquoi voulez-vous savoir? Why do you want to know? But I want to be careful in answering that question. So if you want to if you want to know the true answer, just slide into my DMs. But what is my notion of it? I think it's a beautiful thing. And of course, it's not compulsory. It's not. That's why I tell people that you don't have to live your life, especially women, girls, that you don't have to live your life in a way that you're going to be dependent on someone else. My notion of it is that it's so beautiful. And if you don't really focus on the fun aspect and you focus on building together, doing exploits for God and for yourselves, the both of you, I think you guys are going to do so much together. So I think it's a beautiful thing. And I mean, it's if you get the right person to do it with, uh, I mean, one would chase 1,000, two would chase 10,000. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing. Okay, six. How do you keep pursuing your goals when it seems nothing is working? Hmm. I know how hard it can be when you're trying so much to make something work and it doesn't seem as though it's going to work. It can be very challenging to deal with because you feel as though God isn't there. You feel as though probably every other person has left you. You just don't understand why you're still and you don't get the point of life. You get to that stage where you're just tired. Yes, you get to that place of intense fatigue. But for me, I keep pursuing my goals even when I don't see results because I trust God. Look, God is not going to leave you or forsake you, even when it seems as though He's not there. And if it could, I mean, the verse that says, if He could clothe even flowers, what wouldn't He do for you? And for Him to sacrifice His only Son just for your redemption, what more will He not do for you? So I think from a place of trusting God's plan for my life, it is more than enough to keep me going, to keep pursuing, because I know that one day, I mean, things could just change. One day, everything, your entire life can change in less than a day. One day is even too much in less than a day. So it helps to trust God and just know that the process is shaping you towards the woman that or the man that you're going to become later in the future. So don't be discouraged. Instead, always go back. It's okay to retreat every now and then, to go back, to ask questions, to talk to God. What do you want? Why is this not working? God, what do you want me to do? And also to talk to people that you trust, because sometimes you might not know what you're doing wrong. For example, I just started posting law content online, and I mean, some people would tell me, okay, do it this way, do it that way. You could make this adjustment, you could do, because they have more experience than I have in the legal profession. So I think that talking to people so they can see what you're doing from another angle or from another perspective, it helps. But don't give up, honestly, because giving up is the easiest thing to do. It's the easiest way out of life. So just go back to God and just keep your faith strong. Honestly, keep your faith strong. Okay, the next question says, how do you find the right mentors and your own tribe? You find the right mentors by you know what you want to do, you know who you want to become. So you literally check for them. What are the people that align? What are the people that are doing way better than you are, and their values align with yours? And I know that we're in a time where direct mentorship might be so difficult, because especially when the mentor you are seeking is probably a high profile celebrity or what have you, it can be so difficult. But what you can do is to shadow those people, because at the end of the day, even if why I said direct mentorship can be difficult is because these people barely have time, and sometimes, so I think some of them have monetized their mentorship to streamline the people that would have access to them, and also to filter out those that are serious and those that are not. So that's why I said it could be difficult. It doesn't mean you cannot try, but the alternative to it would be to shadow them. And what do I mean by shadow them? Follow them on their social media platforms, check out what they're doing, how they're doing it, and what their motivation for success is. So when you shadow them, you definitely see their patterns, you see what they're doing. I mean, social media people really utilize social media, and you'll be able to learn from them. The things that they're doing will be able to guide you. So yeah, that's it. And also, how do you find your tribe? You find, I mean, there are people everywhere, all around you, church, work, wherever. Just when you look at people that have the same values as you do, and people that are ready to grow with you, people that are ready, that also share your faith, probably, that are ready to grow with you, that are ready to achieve exploits with you. I think you should hold them, should keep them close. But people are everywhere, honestly. So just watch and observe closely, and you'll be able to pick the right people for you. Okay, the other question. What do you do when people criticize you? I don't know. Well, I see criticism as feedback. You're simply giving me feedback. So I work on it and I try to be better. I don't see it as something that is going to keep me down, or maybe this person is criticizing me because they hate me. I don't see it as that because, like I mentioned earlier, when I see, for example, a a legal practitioner that has way more experience than I am tells me that, okay, this is how you might want to communicate law to people to their understanding, and this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. That is not, I don't think that's a bad thing. So for me, I really look at what you're saying and I try to pick what is beneficial, what I really need to work on. Of course, doesn't mean that sometimes people tend to be negative in the name of feedback. But for me, when someone says something really, really negative, I just ignore. I filter them away because honestly, you can just, everyone would always have an opinion, and you cannot live your life based off of everybody's opinion. You have to know what you're doing and just pick what works for you and just ignore what doesn't. Don't let anybody kill your spirit because honestly, it's always easier to talk than to do. So don't really pay heed to negativity. Yes, I think negativity is the word. So I just see what people are saying and I try to be better. Yeah. What is your quote? Okay, what is your go to quote for life? My go to quote for life is be who you need to be part time. Don't let anybody put pressure on you. Don't let, we live in a society where people tend to have it all planned out for other people based off culture and what customary practice, what people are seeing around them. So when you finish school, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do that. But honestly, you have to learn how to quiet the noise around you and be the person that you need to be part time. And that's why I tell people that today you can see that I'm practicing law, tomorrow you can see that I'm probably a TV journal, a broadcast journalist on TV. Or you could see that I've even decided to start DJing. So I could decide to do anything. I don't put myself in a box. So, and it doesn't have to be, because I know some people are already thinking, oh, or some people have been actually talking to me that, so what's next? Now you finished law school, well, is there working? What's next? This. But honestly, I'm going to do what God leads me to. I'm not in a hurry to do whatever. I just focus on my own journey and achieve the things I want to do at my own pace. So don't let anybody put pressure on you. Don't let any negativity get to you. Just be yourself. Be who you need to do. Be who you need to be at every point in time, or at any point in time. Yeah. So that's the end of the questions for today. I mean, I had so much fun doing this, and I'm sure subsequently you'll probably do more, but that's it for now. And the Impact Me series is going to resume very soon, and stay tuned for that. It was so nice doing this. And don't forget to share, to subscribe, to like, and also let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see from me and what you want me to do. And of course, from this video, I hope you picked one thing or the other and it wasn't just fun all through. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, and bye for now.